Well, good morning, members. Members will all come into the floor and take their seats. We have a lot to accomplish today. Members will please take seats. The hour for convening having arrived, all members will please take their seats. Mr. Clerk, will you ring the bell? We're going to have the morning roll call. All members present will vote green to signify their presence in the chamber, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? All members voted. If so, Mr. Clerk, will you lock the machine? Members, while I have all of you in attendance, was that 100%? I don't think so, but it was pretty close. While we're all here in attendance, I want us to welcome a former member, good member of the House, Mike Walensky, Representative Mike Walensky to my left, your right. Mike, good to have you. Now, I have the privilege to determine the order of how we do things here on many days, so I'm going to flip the script today. Flip the script. We're going to adjourn. If the majority leader was here, we would adjourn, but he's not, so I'd recognize him. Sorry, Pastor. So what we're going to do, we're going to recognize our birthday boy today. The Clerk of the House, Bill Riley, has a birthday today. Mr. Clerk, best clerk in America. We'll start working on a national holiday for today, I think. Doorkeepers, I think it's time that we close the doors and keep them closed. As is our custom, we will begin our day with scripture reading and prayer by our chaplain, after which we will pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. Today, our chaplain this morning will be introduced by the gentleman from the 10th House District, Representative Victor Anderson. Representative Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, it's an honor, a privilege, and a blessing today to introduce our chaplain of the day. You know, as leaders, it's important to have credentials. And our chaplain today has not only been in the ministry for 45 years, 23 years on his current campus that my wife and I attend in Demorest, Georgia. He also has a bachelor's degree from Lee University, a master's in education, a master's in divinity, and a doctorate in ministry. But you know, all of that is important, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is a man's action. 2 years ago today, my father passed away. My father's first cousin is a pastor at a local church, very successful, and had volunteered to offer his services for my dad's service. Literally, at the 11th hour, the day before my dad's interment, my cousin came down with a bad case of COVID and was not able to do that. The night before my dad was buried, I called my friend, Pastor Mike Franklin. Without hesitation, without preparation, he came and he attended the service, preached to our family, and consoled us during that time. That's all the introduction I need to provide for my pastor and my friend, Pastor Mike Franklin.
Well, I'm privileged and honored today to have the opportunity to speak to you. I can tell you, Representative Anderson, I know him extremely well. He's not only my representative, but he's a good man. A great family, does a great job, a huge blessing for our community. And I know I shouldn't say it here, but Vic, I love you, man. I thank God for you. But Representative Anderson's a tremendous man of God. And more than just being his pastor, we are friends. And I know him and know him well. So also, Lauren, it's good to see you, my friend. I appreciate you, brother. Thankful for you. Now, he's a knucklehead. Don't forget that. To all of you here, let me just tell you thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Speaker. I'm honored to be here, and I thank you for the opportunity to be here. Now, let me turn my attention to why I'm here, because I'm going to stay within my bounds of time. At least I'm going to work very hard at that. How's your love life? Now, I ask that question not meaning to take your mind to a bedroom somewhere or to some quirky evil thought that might come in your mind. What I mean is, how are you right now working in demonstrating and receiving and giving real love to the people around you? That's what transcends everything. I mean, these hallowed halls of charged conflict that we have, often productive and sometimes unproductive. A place where sometimes frustrations can boil and attitudes can go awry and emotions and feelings can get the best of even the best. Can real love still be found, even in the heat of the battle? Even in the heat of the moment, the controversy, the challenged values, the differences of opinions, the gray decisions, the difficult dialogues. When approached by a lawyer, Jesus, the greatest teacher of all time, was asked a question. What's the greatest commandment? He responded in the imperative. He gave a direct command. You must love. It's in the imperative tense in the original language, and it's very direct, ardent, strong. You must. Love God, love your neighbor, and love yourself. So how are we doing with that? I mean, you know it well, Matthew 22:37 and following. This is the first command of all. You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. You must, second's like unto it, you must love your neighbor as yourself. I mean, we understand the greatest command of all. What I want you to notice today is that as he responded, he revealed the true nature, the true behavior of love. Notice that direction and that intensity of command says this. He's making a profound demand and saying, act in love. If love can be commanded, then what you have to know is it's more than an emotion. Love, in fact, is not even rooted in emotion. Love is more than a feeling or some set of feelings, though it will produce feelings and at times will produce emotion. Love's a choice. You either do it or you don't. You either obey the command of the master or you ignore his voice. Genuine love, real love, true love is a decision. It's a matter of your will. It's a deep commitment from deep within you, and it produces decisive action in your day-to-day life. Love's a commandment, and it requires commitment and action. I know feelings and emotions are important. Don't ever forget that. But true love functions regardless of how you feel. True love functions as an action based on a deep commitment. And I'm going to tell you, oftentimes it's hard to do. Oftentimes it's challenging when someone has confronted you at your core. When someone has, in some senses, faced you down in maybe an emasculating way, some way that messes with you differently. Each person's that way. In my life, I've learned some things. I've learned that liking people and loving people are two completely different things. In my life, I've learned that I can like someone, but I can only like someone because I have an emotional response that's positive toward them. Feelings and emotions, we can't control them, they just are. But I'll tell you what we can control, how we respond to those feelings and those emotions. That we can control. We can't stop the way we feel, but we can choose to behave. We can choose to be angry and still act in a loving manner. A feeling is a reaction, but a behavior is a choice. Don't react, respond with a choice. Maybe that's the reason Christ did not command us to like our enemies. What Christ did is he said, love your enemies. Loving and liking are not the same thing in any sense of the word. In fact, liking someone is oftentimes not even under your immediate control. But acting in love is always under your immediate control. Sometimes you can't control how you feel about somebody when they do specific actions, but you can choose to control and love in your response. If we haven't learned that love is an action chosen by us, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of the context, regardless of the treatment we've received, we'll never effectively love. We'll never love as Christ taught us to love. Yes, we can actually love people we don't like. Yes, we can actually love people we don't agree with. Yes, we can act in a certain way just because it's the right thing to do. Yes, we will feel warm and fuzzies, but if we don't, we can still treat others rightly. What's odd about this is this. When you act in a loving way towards somebody else, regardless of your feelings, emotions will begin to line up with your actions. What's funny about this is your feelings will begin to change if you first control your actions. I've told thousands and thousands of couples who come to me in trouble, facing down divorce, and say, well, do you love each other? Well, yeah. Okay, the battle's won. Just start acting like it. You know what happens? When they start acting like they love each other, it's only a few days before they feel like they love each other. It's a fact of life shown again and again psychologically. few days later, a little bit of time passes, and Jesus is speaking to his disciples in John 15, and here's what he says. Without me, you can do nothing. I'm the vine, you're the branches. Abide in me, I will abide in you. See, therein lies the key to being able to make the right choices, making this lesson work in our lives. It comes when we choose, regardless of who we are, regardless of where we are, to let the God who is love abide in us. And if we choose to abide in him, then love is possible. Without it, sometimes love's hard, harder than you want to follow through on. But when he's with you and in you and part of your psyche, then what happens is our flesh, which often overwhelms us with self-focus, our feelings which get frayed, they're laid at the feet of Jesus. And the person inside us, the God, the incarnate God who revealed love to humanity, that God, it stops us from lashing. He stops us from lashing out without warning. If we abide in him, he's in us, and he's love, and you have everything you need to love everybody around you, no matter what's going on. Nothing else will produce this kind of love. The kind that's unconditional, that's always forgiving, that keeps no record of wrongs, that is not proud, that is not puffed up, that is not easily angered. That kind of love, it comes from something abiding in us. So today I'd challenge you, allow him to abide in you. Allow him to forgive you, forgive me, redeem you and me. That means buy you back to the purpose for which he designed you. Allow him to be the Savior of your life, and then crown him as the Lord of your life and walk with him daily. Then you can abide in him, he'll abide in you, and then you can act in love. And I'm going to say one more thing, and I'm going to pray. The wisdom you need today, the integrity you'll have to display today, the love that needs to be on display in your life today, it's immense. Some of the battles over budget, there's some issues you'll deal with. Man, all these struggles that y'all fight with, you need wisdom and integrity and love. Difficult dialogues will take place. Difficult decisions will fill your day. And what I pray for you today is that God would grant you the grace to open your heart and say, I'm going to choose to love no matter what, and I'm going to ask God for wisdom to guide me so I can accomplish the task. So I ask you again, how's your love life? Father, I bow before you right now in the name of Jesus. And God, as these representatives stand before you and ask you for guidance, as they come into your presence and ask you to touch them with grace, God, may they be infused with a love that allows them to love themselves and forgive themselves, that allows them to love others and forgive others, that allows them to love you with all their heart and to make their mind, soul, and spirit yield to your voice internally. Abide with each one of us today. God, all the personnel in this place need your touch. And may we commit to love like we have never loved before. May your grace guide us. May your grace guard us. May you give wisdom to these representatives. May you give integrity to their words, their actions, their thoughts, their deeds. And may you fill this chamber with love. These are amazingly talented, blessed leaders whom you have placed in this house for such a time as this. Help them to rise to the occasion and to do what you have ordained them to do. In Jesus' name, amen. Would you face the flag, please? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Brother Mike. We appreciate that. Doorkeepers, you may unlock the doors. Members, you can join Brother Mike in the South Ante room for a photo and to tell him how much you appreciate him being here and bringing us that message of love. Dr. Pastor, that was timely. Great message. Thank you for being here. Our doctor of the today is brought to us by Representative Stacey Evans of the 57th House District. Dr. Patel, we appreciate you being here, and if you get a chance, members, certainly stop by downstairs and tell her how much we appreciate you. Appreciate her being here. Chairman Tarvin, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Information and Audits has read the journal from the previous legislative day and found it to be correct. On another note, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you must keep moving forward.
No truer words were ever spoken, Mr. Chairman. I think you got it again today. Chairman Tarvin, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, reports that the journal of the previous legislative day has been read and found to be correct. Is there any objection to dispense with the reading of the journal? Chair hears none. The reading of the journal is dispensed with. Is there any objection to the confirmation of the journal? Chair hears none, and the journal is confirmed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the resolution establishing the order of business for the day? Mr. Clerk.
Representative Administration of the 104th moves following be established as the order of business during the first part of the period. Unanimous consents. Introduction of bills and resolutions. First reading and reference of House bills and resolutions. Second reading of bills and resolutions. Reports of standing committees. First reading and reference of Senate bills and resolutions. Morning orders.
Is there an objection to the adoption of the resolution establishing the order of business for the day? Chair hears none, and the resolution is adopted. First reading of bills and resolutions, the clerk will read.
House Bill 1135 by Representative Hatchett of the 155th. Bill be titled an act to provide a new charter for the town of Dexter.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1136 by Representative Maynard of the 56th, Gullett of the 19th, Leverett of the 123rd, Persinger of the 119th, Cameron of the 1st, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Article 7 of Chapter 5 of Title 16 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to stalking.
Judiciary non-civil.
House Bill 1137 by Representative Kendrick of the 95th, a bill being titled Act to amend Code Section 17754 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to form of indictment by grand jury.
Judiciary non-civil.
House Bill 1138 by Representative Kendrick of the 95th, a bill being titled Act to amend Code Section 1014 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to fund administrator investments.
Economic development and tourism.
House Bill 1139 by Representative Gilliard of the 162nd, Oliver of the 82nd, Miller of the 62nd, Bell of the 75th. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 2 entitled 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to elementary and secondary education.
Education.
House Bill 1140 by Representative Smith of the 18th. Bill be titled Act to amend an act to provide a homestead exemption from Haralson County School District ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1141 by Representative Hagan of the 156th and Mathis of the 149th. Bill be titled an act to provide a homestead exemption from Telfair County School District ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1142 by Representative Martin of the 49th, Gullett of the 19th, Jones of the 25th, Hilton of the 48th, Moptahan of the 17th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 1 of Title 43 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions of professions and businesses.
Regulated industries.
House Bill 1143 by Representative Hagan of the 156th and Mathis of the 149th. Bill be titled an act to provide a homestead exemption from Telfair County ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1144 by Representative Martin of the 49th, Gullett of the 19th, Jones of the 25th, Hilton of the 48th, Moptahan of the 17th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 1 of Title 43 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions of professions and businesses.
Regulated industries.
House Bill 1145 by Representative Scoggins of the 14th and Gamble of the 15th. Bill be titled an act to amend an act to provide a homestead exemption from certain Bartow County School District ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1146 by Representative Stevens of the 164th, Hitchens of the 161st, and Petrie of the 166th. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 2 of Article 3 of Chapter 5 of Title 12 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to groundwater use.
Natural resources and environment. Mr. Clerk, would you hold it just one? Members, if you could hold it down to a low roar. I'm having trouble hearing the clerk, and I'm standing right here beside him. Rome wasn't built in a day, and y'all won't solve all these problems in the next 5 minutes. But if you need to, go in the ante room. Mr. Clerk.
House Bill 1147 by Representative Moptahan of the 17th, Kelly the 16th, Smith of the 18th, New of the 64th, Gullett of the 19th. Bill be titled Act to provide for a new homestead exemption from Paulding County ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1148 by Representative Moptahan of the 17th, Kelly the 16th, Smith of the 18th, New of the 64th, Gullett of the 19th. Bill be titled Act to provide for a new homestead exemption from Paulding County School District ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Bill 1149 by Representative Maynard of the 56th, Saints of the 180th, Thomas of the 21st. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 81 of Title 36 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to local government budgets and audits.
Governmental affairs.
House Bill 1150 by Representative Collins of the 71st, Corbett of the 174th, Saints of the 180th, Perkle of the 169th, Crow of the 118th. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 4873.1 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to tinting of windows.
Motor
House
vehicles.
Bill 1151 by Representative McLean of the 109th, Prince of the 132nd, Alexander of the 66th, Gladney of the 130th, Barton of the 5th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 4286 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to special license plates.
Motor vehicles.
House Bill 1152 by Representative Camp of the 135th, Carson of the 46th, Powell of the 33rd, Persinger of the 119th, Gullett of the 19th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 3, Title 46 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to electrical service.
Energy, utilities, and telecommunications.
House Bill 1153 by Representative Jones of the 25th, Martin of the 49th, Seaball of the 34th, Anderson of the 10th, Huddleston of the 72nd. Bill be titled an act to amend Title 44 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to property.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1154 by Representative Cannon of the 58th, Oliver of the 82nd, Beverly the 143rd, Williams of the 37th, Glaze of the 67th. Bill be titled and act to amend Article 7, Chapter 4, Title 49 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to medical assistance generally.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 1155 by Representative Cannon of the 58th, Oliver of the 82nd, Beverly the 143rd, Williams of the 37th, Glaze of the 67th. Bill be titled and act to amend Code Section 33, 24, 58.2 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the Newborn Baby and Mother Protection Act.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 1156 by Representative Jackson of the 68th, Holly of the 116th, Basemore of the 69th, and Glaze of the 67th. Bill be titled and act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 7 of Title 44 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to landlord and tenant in general.
Governmental
House
Affairs.
Bill 1157 by Representative Jackson of the 68th, Holly of the 116th, Basemore of the 69th, and Glaze of the 67th. Bill be titled and act to amend Part 2 of Article 15 of Chapter 1 of Title 10 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated the Fair Business Practices Act of 1975.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1158 by Representative Jackson of the 68th, Drenner of the 85th, Barnes of the 86th, Taylor of the 92nd, Basemore of the 69th. Bill be titled and act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 6 and Title 19 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding alimony and child support.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1159 by Representative Jackson of the 68th, Bruce of the 61st, Holly of the 116th, Clark of the 108th, Reese of the 140th. Bill be titled and act to amend Chapter 2, Title 21 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to elections and primaries generally.
Governmental Affairs.
House Bill 1160 by Representative Jackson of the 68th, Holly of the 116th, Evans of the 89th, Moore of the 91st, Draper of the 90th. Bill be titled and act to amend Part 3 of Article 4, Chapter 11 and Title 16 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to carrying and possession of firearms.
Public Safety and Homeland Security.
House Bill 1161 by Representative Ballard of the 147th, Saints of the 180th, Petrie of the 166th, Reese of the 140th, Bonner of the 73rd, and others. Bill be titled and act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to income taxes.
Ways and
House
Means.
Bill 1162 by Representative Knight of the 134th, Williamson of the 112th, Blackman of the 146th, Carson of the 46th, Martin of the 49th. Bill be titled and act to amend Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to revenue and taxation.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1163 by Representative Knight of the 134th, Williamson of the 112th, Blackman of the 146th, Carson of the 46th, Martin of the 49th. Bill be titled and act to amend Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to revenue and taxation.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1164 by Representative Miller of the 62nd, Smith of the 18th, LaHood of the 175th, Buckner of the 137th, Fleming of the 114th, and others. Bill be titled and act to amend Article 2, Chapter 7 of Title 16 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated related to criminal trespass and damage to property.
Judiciary Non-Civil.
House Bill 1165 by Representative Maynard of the 56th, Reeves of the 99th, Dempsey of the 13th, Parrish of the 158th, Hilton of the 48th. Bill be titled and act to amend Code Section 35, 6A, 3 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to membership vacancies and memberships.
Public Safety and Homeland Security.
House Bill 1166 by Representative Jones of the 60th, a bill be titled and act to provide a homestead exemption from the City of Atlanta ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 1167 by Representative Townsend of the 179th, Irwin of the 32nd, Lumsden of the 12th, Yurt of the 152nd, Chokus of the 151st, and others. Bill be titled and act to amend Title 20 and Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to education and revenue and taxation.
Ways and
House
Means.
Bill 1168 by Representative Townsend of the 179th, Deloach of the 167th, Saints of the 180th, Vance of the 133rd, Reeves of the 99th, and others. Bill be titled and act to amend Title 40 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to motor vehicles and traffic.
Public Safety and Homeland Security.
House Bill 1169 by Representative Townsend of the 179th, Smith of the 138th, Deloach of the 167th, Vance of the 133rd, Reeves of the 99th, and others. Bill be titled and act to amend Code Section 12.2.2 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to Environmental Protection Division.
Natural Resources and Environment.
House Resolution 996 by Representative Williams, the 148th, a resolution honoring the life of Deputy Ty Brown and dedicating a road in his memory.
Transportation.
Senate Bill 189 by Senator Burns, the 22nd, Dolezal of the 27th, Brass of the 28th, Anna Duarte of the 31st, Moore of the 53rd, and others. The bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 2, Title 21 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to primaries and elections generally.
Governmental affairs.
Senate Bill 332 by Senators Robertson of the 29th, Kennedy of the 18th, Gooch of the 51st, Hatch of the 50th, Brass of the 28th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 15.8.32 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to prosecuting attorneys qualifications commission.
Judiciary non-civil.
Senate Bill 344 by Senators Anna Duarte of the 31st, Gooch of the 51st, Kennedy of the 18th, Brass of the 28th, Hatchett of the 50th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 48.8.3 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to exemptions from sales and use taxes.
Ways and Means.
Senate Bill 373 by Senator Walker of the 20th, Anna Duarte of the 31st, Kirkpatrick of the 32nd, Strickland of the 17th, Halpern of the 39th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 43.10a.13 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to requirements for licensure in marriage and family therapy.
Regulated Industries.
Senate Bill 405 by Senators Dixon of the 45th, Gooch of the 51st, Hickman of the 4th, Kennedy of the 18th, Still of the 48th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 31C of Chapter 2 of Title 20 of the official code of Georgia annotated the Completion Special Schools Act.
Education.
That completes first readers.
Second reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 1113 by Representative Reeves of the 99th, Gunter of the 8th, Smith of the 18th, Leverett of the 123rd, Silcox of the 53rd, and others. A bill relating to state printing and documents. House Bill 1114 by Representative Wade of the 9th, Gamble of the 15th, Hong of the 103rd, McDonald of the 26th, Jones of the 25th, and others. A bill relating to insurance. House Bill 1115 by Representative Williams of the 148th, Kelly of the 16th, Crow of the 118th, Blackman of the 146th, Horner of the 3rd, and others. A bill relating to sales and use taxes. House Bill 1116 by Representative Buckner of the 137th, Stevens of the 164th, Houston of the 170th, Blackman of the 146th, Holcomb of the 81st. A bill relating to imposition rate computations, exemptions, and credits relative to income taxes. House Bill 1117 by Representative Hitchens of the 161st, Levinson of the 12th, Collins of the 71st, Vance of the 133rd, Neal of the 79th. A bill relating to requirements for appointment or certification of persons as peace officers and pre-employment attendants to basic training course and employment-related information. House Bill 1118 by Representative Draper of the 90th, Gilliard of the 162nd, Beverly of the 143rd, Miller of the 62nd, Powell of the 33rd. A bill relating to elections and primaries. House Bill 1119 by Representative Carson of the 46th and Hilton of the 48th. The bill relating to general provisions relative to motor vehicle equipment and inspection. House Bill 1120 by Representative Taylor of the 173rd, Earhart of the 36th, Mathiak of the 74th, Smith of the 70th, Thomas of the 21st, and others. A bill relating to ascertainment of taxable property assessments against unreturned personal property, penalty for unreturned property, changing real property values established by appeal prior year or stipulated by agreement. House Bill 1121 by Representative Ballard of the 147th, Washburn of the 144th, Powell of the 33rd, New of the 64th, Sains of the 180th. A bill relating to general provisions applicable to counties and municipal corporations. House Bill 1122 by Representative Hilton of the 48th, Jones of the 47th, Dominic of the 29th, Ballard of the 147th, Adina of the 110th, and others. A bill relating to secondary and elementary education. House Bill 1123 by Representative Barrett of the 24th, Cooper of the 45th, Silcox of the 53rd, Oliver of the 82nd. A bill relating to protection of disabled adults and elder persons. House Bill 1124 by Representative Martin of the 49th, Hilton of the 48th, Jones of the 47th, Silcox of the 53rd, and Gaines of the 120th. A bill relating to needs-based financial aid programs. House Bill 1125 by Representative Cooper of the 45th, Carpenter of the 4th, Daniel of the 117th, Hilton of the 48th, Smith of the 18th. A bill relating to labor and industrial relations. House Bill 1126 by Representative Perkle of the 169th, Jaspers of the 11th, Gullett of the 19th, Dickey of the 145th, Collins of the 71st. A bill relating to speed detection devices. House Bill 1127 by Representative Perkle of the 169th, Corbett of the 174th, Rhodes of the 124th, and Lott of the 131st. A bill relating to agriculture. House Bill 1128 by Representative Lott of the 131st, Hagan of the 156th, New of the 64th, Houston of the 170th, Ballard of the 147th, and others. A bill relating to general provisions. House Bill 1129 by Representative Holcomb of the 81st and Werkheiser of the 157th, a bill relating to responsibility relative to defenses to criminal prosecutions. House Bill 1130 by Representative Holcomb of the 81st and Werkheiser of the 157th, a bill relating to responsibility relative to crimes and offenses. House Bill 1131 by Representative Townsend of the 179th, Ballard of the 147th, Saines of the 180th, Glaze of the 67th, Vance of the 133rd, and others, a bill relating to health of students in elementary and secondary education. House Bill 1132 by Representative Maynor of the 56th, Jackson of the 128th, Lim of the 98th, a bill relating to building and housing, commerce and trade, insurance, and labor and industrial relations. House Bill 1133 by Representative Maynor of the 56th and Lim of the 98th, a bill relating to staff development under the Quality Basic Education Act. House Bill 1134 by Representative Stevens of the 164th, Saines of the 180th, Buckner of the 137th, a bill relating to imposition rate computation, exemptions, and credits relative to income taxes. House Resolution 979 by Representative Draper of the 90th, Bitchell of the 88th, Drenner of the 85th, Crawford of the 84th, and Bennett of the 94th, a resolution recognizing Reverend Dr. William E. Flippen Sr. and dedicating a bridge in his honor. Senate Bill 333 by Senator Dixon of the 45th and Still of the 48th, a bill to incorporate the city of Mulberry. Senate Bill 377 by Senator Hillary of the 19th, Kirkpatrick of the 32nd, Burns of the 23rd, Payne of the 54th, Strickland of the 17th, and others, a bill related to courts and social services. Senate Bill 386 by Senator Dixon of the 45th, Hatchett of the 50th, Butler of the 55th, Beach of the 21st, Mallow of the 2nd, and others, a bill relating to state government, through second readers.
Reports of standing committees, the clerk will read.
Representative Jordan Ridley of the 22nd, Secretary of the Committee on Energy, Utilities, and Telecommunications, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Energy, Utilities, and Telecommunications has had under its consideration following bill of the House, instructing me to report back the same to the House with the following recommendations. House Bill 300, due pass by committee substitute, respectfully submitted Representative Jordan Ridley of the 22nd, Secretary. Representative Beth Camp of the 135th District, Chairman on Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination Locals, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination Local has had under its consideration following bill of the Senate. It's instructed me to report same back to the House with the following recommendation. Senate Bill 333, due pass, respectfully submitted Representative Beth Camp of the 135th District, Chairman. That completes the reading of the reports of standing committees.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Members, if you will take your seats, we'll move on to morning orders. We have some Georgians in the gallery we need to recognize. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. If you have a morning order that I'm going to try to pick the ones out that may be some folks in the gallery to recognize. If you have a morning order that can move into afternoon orders, that would be awesome, because you're going to have 1 minute max to let us hear about your morning order. So we'll begin our morning order with Representative Dr. Al and Representative Chairman Dr. Newton and Chair Lady Silcox for a morning order.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're honored to welcome members of the Medical Association of Georgia for Doctors' Day at the Capitol. If you're looking
The lady will suspend just for a minute.
If you're looking to have a medical emergency, today is the day to do it. Thank you all for all that you do for our patients, and thank you for your advocacy. You really make a difference in the lives of our patients. Thank you all.
Thank you. Good to have y'all. We appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Hey, Doc. Well, that got a lot of y'all, didn't it? Hey, Doc. Good to have y'all. Appreciate what y'all do for our people. Representative Gloria Frazier and Representative Al Williams recognized for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. Today is Sickle Cell Day at the Capitol. We are so honored to have our constituents that have traveled from across Georgia to be here today to advocate for this dreadful disease that many of them have, and that we are here today to support them. And at this time, they will be in room 230 downstairs, and I would like for all of you all to please drop in, because you do have constituents that are here in your district. And drop in and tell them and just say hello to them, okay? And so at this time, I would like for Representative Al Williams to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've got about 30 seconds at the most. Just want to recognize the CEO, Ms. Tabitha McGee, and Dr. Powell and his staff. Thank you all for all you do.
Stand up.
We're
Stand
running
up.
out of time now.
Stand up.
Out of time. Red means through.
Thank you for what you do. You have an important cause. We appreciate you. And thank you, too, for y'all's advocacy, and we appreciate y'all's hard work. Chairman Dubnik and Representative David Clark recognized for a morning order.
Colleagues, if you will, this week is National School Counselors Week, and we are very blessed to have dozens and dozens of school counselors from around the state who are here to join us today. Hopefully they will be asking you to step outside and say hello to them, but we just wanted to welcome them to the People's House. I know they are trying to get in the door right now, but I hope you will see them, talk to them, and join me in welcoming them. And Representative Clark, if you will. Say a word.
Yeah, just want to say to the school counselors, thank you all for what y'all do for our children. They do so much, love on them, care for them, listen to them, and that just means a lot. So thanks to the school counselors, and let's just congratulate them during their school council week.
Great, thank you. Important job, school counselors. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Representative Montahan, recognized for a morning order. Please give the gentleman your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today I want to recognize a very special group. Today we have the Georgia Association of Voter Registration and Election Officials with us today. If y'all would please recognize these folks. The association plays a huge role in making sure that our elections run very smoothly and that every vote gets counted. It's not a small task, and this House thanks you for the work that you do day in and day out to serve our constituents. Thank y'all so much. We see you in the back. Thank you.
Thank you for that morning order. Our election board does great work. Chairman Martin has a special group here. Chairman Chuck Martin.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to recognize the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce. I know some colleagues will join me up here, and I'm going to be more brief today than I would given our time, but I want to especially recognize Jim Teal, the current chair, Rich Johnson, the Director of Legislative Affairs, or the Chair of Legislative Affairs, and the incoming chair, Mr. Dean Collins, the Access Companies. Callie Boatwright and the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, they make things go up there. We appreciate you all. Welcome to the House of Representatives.
It was good to see y'all earlier this morning. Y'all have a great group here. Appreciate what y'all do. Thanks for giving your time. Chairman Jaspers recognized for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't see my folks up in the gallery at the moment. We've had a lot of people here to see us today, but Chairman Ballinger and I have the honor to recognize a couple of special families and an organization that's changed their lives. Today we recognize this day as Congenital Heart Defect Awareness Day. And what that is someone's born with a defect in their heart muscle. And you can imagine how tragic and stressful and that is in their lives, and really life-threatening for sure. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, or CHOA as we call it here, is a leader in repairing these hearts. And we have two families here that their children might not be here if it weren't for them. The one from my county had his first heart surgery at 5 days old.
5 years, and then at 15. And so he's doing great. The Judkins family is from Pickens, and also we have the Reese family from Cherokee. So as you see Choa, their little animals and their folks around in the white, just congratulate them, and we're glad they're there. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's an impressive group. Great work they do up at Choa. Let's see. Oh, buddy, we got a distinguished group coming now. Chairman Butch Parrish, Chair Lady Dempsey, let's see, Representative Hagan. Let's see, is that all of you? Yeah, that's awesome. Good group. Chairman Parrish, you know how to bring good friends with you. Let's hear from you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I want to thank you all for passing a resolution earlier in this year recognizing February the 7th as Children's Advocate Centers of Georgia Day here in Georgia. These centers began establishing some 37 years ago, and these centers provide a natural, child-friendly environment where trained professionals and agencies utilize a multidisciplinary team approach to investigating and treating alleged child abuse and exploitation cases. The advocacy centers are statewide. There's some 48 centers across the state. Some of them are here with us today, and I would ask you to help me recognize them. We have some in the gallery and some who are trying to be here. They're trying to come in. Would you join me in thanking them for what they do in our state and recognizing them on this special day? Thank you all.
Thank you for what you do, ladies. We appreciate that. Support it. We thank you for being here. Thank you, Chairman Parrish. Representative Tanya Miller, recognized for a morning order.
No, he's here for state of judiciary.
Representative, if you will hold up just for a second. Members, if you'll give the lady in the well your attention. Proceed, Representative Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. If you would please just help me welcome Fulton Leadership Academy. These wonderful scholars are here today. Stand up, guys. Fulton Leadership Academy from East Point, Georgia. This is a wonderful school that provides a rigorous academic environment for young men between the ages or grades of 6 and 12. Their focus is on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and also aeronautics. Core values of Fulton Leadership Academy: fortitude, leadership, and achievement. Please join me in welcoming them to the People's House. Welcome, guys. Love you. They're fine. You can always step. Thank you, Mr.
Good to have y'all. We appreciate you taking time to come. Good luck. Good looking group. I like your jackets. You look sharp. That concludes morning orders. Here is our posture. They couldn't find any matches to light the lamps over in the Senate this morning, so they're a little bit behind us. But they'll catch up, don't worry. They can see now. The sun's up a little bit higher. They opened the curtains. So we're going to stand at ease for a few minutes. Don't leave. Hang around. We're going to hear from our judiciary. So this House will stand at ease until the Senate concludes their work and gets ready to join us. House will stand at ease.